Why did the US Navy send this ship? Look closely at this massive oil tanker. It is drifting through the Strait of Hormuz. This is the most dangerous waterway on Earth. The air is heavy with silent threats. At night, the tension is almost suffocating. It looks slow and harmless. To any untrained eye, it looks like an easy target for Iran. But this is no ordinary commercial vessel. This ship is a ghost in plain sight. Forget the crude oil. This ship carries pure, unadulterated death. The Iranian coastline is only a few miles away. Their anti-ship missiles are hidden deep underground. They are notoriously hard to track. They wait for a single American mistake. One slip could trigger a massive strike. Well, why take this risk? Why put a slow giant in the lion's den? The strait is a massive global choke point. One wrong move could start a global war. Is this a billion-dollar blunder, or is this a modern-day Trojan horse? It is a lethal fortress hiding inside a civilian shell, a base that moves where it isn't expected. This is the USS Lewis B puller. It is a massive mobile sea base. It is a floating home for elite special forces. Deep inside its steel hull, a secret waits. This secret keeps Tehran awake at night. This ship changed the rules of engagement. It allows the US to strike without a permanent base. It is an invisible shield. But how did they pull this off? How do you turn a tanker into this? The answer is a masterpiece of military engineering. To see the truth, we must go inside. We must peel back the steel. Let's break down the mechanical secrets of this giant. Land bases are sitting ducks. Everyone knows where they are. Iran knows their exact coordinates. Their missiles are already aimed. They just need a reason. This created a massive problem. The US Navy needed a solution. They needed an island that moves. Fortress with no fixed address. It had to be mobile. It had to be unpredictable. This is phase 1. The need for an island. An island made of steel. An island that can disappear. The Middle East is a dangerous place. Land bases are hard to defend. They are locked in place forever. One missile strike could end everything. The Navy wanted something better. They wanted a base on the water. A base that could change locations overnight. This requires a radical new way of thinking. The solution was hiding in plain sight. They looked at the Alaska class. These are massive commercial oil tankers. They are nearly 800 feet long. They are built for rough seas, but they are not warships, at least not yet. This began the lethal transformation. Engineers moved into the shipyards. They started a radical surgery. They cut away the civilian parts. They removed the original superstructure. The top of the ship was gone. It was just a flat hull. Then came the new deck. This is phase 2. The engineering was intense. They built a massive flight deck. It spans 52,000 square feet. Think about that for a second. That is a floating airfield. It is bigger than a football field. It was welded directly onto the frame. This isn't just a ship anymore. It is a massive steel island. It sits high above the water. This design is purely functional. It provides a massive open space. It is a blank canvas for war. Engineers had to be very careful. The new deck adds massive weight. The hull had to be reinforced. They added thick steel beams. They used advanced welding techniques. The ship must stay stable. It must withstand heavy landings. A Sea Dragon landing is violent. The deck must absorb the shock. It must remain perfectly flat. This requires precision engineering. Every weld was tested. Every beam was measured. There was no room for error. The conversion process was a miracle. They took a cargo ship. They turned it into a weapon. They saved billions of dollars. They created a mobile fortress. It is a total game changer. The Navy can stay forever. They don't need land permission. They just need deep water. The puller provides that freedom. But the surface is a lie. The real power is below. This is phase 3. Beneath the flight deck is a cavern. It is called the mission deck. This area is absolutely huge. It is an invisible supply chain. It holds thousands of barrels of fuel. It stores tons of heavy munitions. It is a floating arsenal. It is designed for endurance. The ship stays out for months. It doesn't need a port. It doesn't need a dock. It brings the port with it. Inside this hull is a city. It houses 250 elite Navy SEALs. These are the world's best warriors. They live right above the ammo. They are always ready for action. They have everything they need. The ship provides power and water. It provides food and medical care. It provides a safe haven. But most importantly, it provides stealth. The ship looks like a tanker. Radar operators might get confused. Is it a merchant ship or is it a threat? By the time they know, it's too late. Look at the aircraft on deck. These aren't small scout planes. These are massive MH-53E Sea Dragons. These helicopters are absolute giants. They are used for minesweeping. They can clear the entire strait. Then there are the AH-1Z Vipers. These are dedicated attack helicopters. They carry Hellfire missiles and rockets. They are the ship's primary teeth. They launch in a matter of minutes. They provide a massive invisible shield. This shield covers the special forces. It covers the entire region. This is a lethal transformation. The storage systems are high-tech. They use automated tracks. Munitions move quickly to the deck. Fuel pumps operate at high speed. The logistics are a fine art. It is a seamless operation. The SEALs use the mission deck. They prep their fast boats. They check their diving gear. They launch directly into the sea. They move through the side ramps. They disappear into the dark waves. The tanker just sits there. It looks quiet and still, but inside it is buzzing. It is a hive of activity. It is a lethal machine. The Iranian forces are watching. They see a slow tanker. They think it is an easy kill, but they are very wrong. This tanker is a trap. It is a den for lions. Every inch of steel is reinforced. Every crew member is a professional. The technology is hidden deep. The intent is perfectly clear. Do not cross this ship. Do not test its limits. The US can park anywhere. They can move overnight. One day they are in Hormuz. The next day they are gone. This unpredictability is a weapon. It creates a massive tactical advantage. Iran has to watch everything. They can't just watch one base. They have to watch the oceans. This is the future of sea power. The mechanical secrets are simple, but the impact is massive. It turns the ocean into a base. It turns a tanker into a legend. The USS Lewis B puller is ready. It is the ultimate sea base. It is the perfect weapon for Hormuz. It is a symbol of power. It is a symbol of innovation. It proves that size matters, but flexibility matters more. The engineering made it possible. The logistics made no effective. The SEALs make it deadly. This is how the US stays. This is how they win. They don't need land. They have the sea. They have the puller. It is an invisible supply chain. It works in the shadows. It provides a massive strategic reach. It is the Navy's secret weapon. It is a foul die on the move. It is a ghost in the strait, and it is waiting. It is always watching. It is ready for the call. Let's look closer at the tactics. Let's see how it actually traps the enemy. It is a masterclass in deception, and it all starts with the hull. The hull is the foundation. It supports the entire mission, protects the elite teams. It carries the heavy weapons. It is the heart of the puller. Without this engineering, the mission fails. With it, the US is unstoppable. The sea is no longer a barrier. It is a highway for power. The puller is the ultimate vehicle. It is a masterpiece of modern war. It is the ghost of Hormuz. It is the mobile sea base. It is ready for anything. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has a massive obsession. They are constantly hunting for a trophy. They want to sink a US carrier. They want a global headline. They track the USS Abraham Lincoln constantly. Their eyes are fixed on the giants. They ignore the slow, rusty-looking tankers. That is their biggest tactical mistake. The USS Lewis B puller hides in plain sight. It doesn't look like a threat. It looks like a simple logistics vessel. It moves quietly through the hot zones. It doesn't trigger a political firestorm. But this is the blind base tactic. Look at the side of the hull. Those aren't just structural plates. They are massive hydraulic side ramps. They can open in a matter of seconds. This is the moment of truth. Inside the belly, the mission deck wakes up. Special operations craft are already prepped. Mark 6 patrol boats roar out. They launch directly into the waves. They don't need a crane. They don't need a dock. They just need an open ramp. This is a game of shadows. Iran is watching the horizon for jets. They aren't looking for boats from a tanker. This is strategy number 1. It is called preemptive support. Don't wait for the conflict to start. The puller is already in position. It puts elite teams exactly where they belong. They are ready before the first shot. Most bases take weeks to set up. The puller is a base on day 1. Provides a massive head start. This is how you win a war. You be there first. You stay there longer. This leads directly to strategy number 2. This is stealth logistics. In modern war, supply lines are targets. They are easy to see and hit. But how do you hit a ghost? The puller moves like a merchant ship. It carries fuel, ammo, and food. It supplies the fleet without a trail. It is an invisible lifeline in Hormuz. This creates a massive tactical nightmare for Iran. This brings us to strategy number 3. This is psychological deterrence. Imagine you are an IRGC commander. You check your radar and the horizon. Everything seems normal and quiet. Then, special forces appear behind you. They strike your missile sites instantly. They disappear back into the vast ocean. Where did they actually come from? You scan for a carrier group. There is nothing but a lonely tanker. That constant fear is a weapon. Forces the enemy to hesitate. It makes them second-guess every move. They know the SEALs are out there. They just don't know where they live. This is the ultimate mental game. But the most impressive part is the math. This is strategy number 4. It is called cost-effective power. Ford-class carrier is a masterpiece, but it costs $13 billion. It requires thousands of sailors to operate. It is a massive financial commitment. The USS Lewis B puller is different. It costs roughly $500 million. That is a fraction of the price. Yet it performs the same core mission. It controls the Strait of Hormuz effectively. It projects power without the massive price. This is the new rule of war. It is about innovation on the old. You take a proven tanker hull, you add high-tech military systems, you create a lethal mobile fortress. You save billions of taxpayer dollars. The IRGC Navy uses mosquito boats. They rely on cheap, fast tactics. The Puller is the American response. It is a smart, efficient solution. It proves that size isn't everything. Flexibility is the real king. The US doesn't need more carriers. They need more mobile sea bases. They need more Trojan horses in Hormuz. The technical reality is simple but brilliant. The Puller uses the ocean as cover. It uses its civilian look as armor. It uses its specialized deck as a fist. This is the ultimate tactical evolution. It turns a defensive vessel into a weapon. It turns a tanker into a legend. The Iranian forces are still looking up. They are waiting for the F-35s. They are waiting for the Tomahawk missiles. They are waiting for the big show. Meanwhile, the Puller is right there. It is sitting just a few miles away. It is launching the real threat. It is launching the Ghost Special Forces. The SEALs move through the side ramps. They use the dark as a shield. They use the Puller as their home. This is a total tactical mismatch. High-tech intelligence meets low-tech camouflage. This is how the US stays ahead. This is how they dominate the strait. It isn't just about raw power. It is about being smarter than the enemy. Every mission deck has a purpose. Every side ramp is a doorway. Every special forces boat is a sting. The Puller is the perfect platform. It is the ultimate aha moment. It is the bridge between two worlds. It is a civilian shell with a warrior heart. The logistics are the real secret. They allow the US to stay forever. They allow the SEALs to be everywhere. The Iranian Navy is chasing ghosts. They are fighting an invisible enemy. They are looking for a carrier. They should be looking at the tankers. But by then, it is already too late. The SEALs are already on the move. The Puller has already won the battle. This is the power of the sea base. It is a masterpiece of modern strategy. It is the ghost of the Strait of Hormuz. It is the symbol of American ingenuity. It turns the ocean into a fortress. It turns a cargo ship into a hero. The engineering made it possible. The tactics made it deadly. The cost made it brilliant. This is the future of naval warfare. It is happening right now in Hormuz. It is happening under the radar. It is happening inside the hull of a tanker. The USS Lewis B Puller is ready. It is always watching and waiting. It is the silent guardian of the waterway. It is the ultimate mobile sea base. The US Navy has a long history. They have always adapted to threats. This ship is the latest chapter. It is a response to a new world. A world of small, fast threats. A world where land bases are vulnerable. A world where stealth is king. The Puller is the perfect tool for this. It is the Swiss Army knife of ships. It can sweep mines or launch SEALs. It can refuel ships or provide medical aid. It does everything without a permanent footprint. It is the ultimate flexible asset, and it is waiting for the call. It is waiting for the next mission. It is the master of the blind base tactic. It is the lethal heart of Project Freedom. Let's see the final proof of its power. Let's see what happens when the traps are sprung. The results are absolutely devastating. The enemy never sees it coming. That is the true value of the Puller. That is why it exists. That is why it stays. It is the immovable object in the strait, and it is just getting started. The USS Lewis B Puller is not just a concept. It has already proven its worth in the Persian Gulf. During recent exercises, it operated right under Iran's nose. It supported minesweeping missions with absolute precision. It launched special forces without being detected once. The IRGC monitored the area but found nothing suspicious. The tanker just sat there, looking completely normal. This is real-world proof of its lethal effectiveness. It proved its value during the recent Operation Sentinel. It cleared lanes that other ships feared to enter. The engineering is not just for show. It is for survival in a hostile world. The true strength of the US Navy is evolving. It is not just about flashy carriers or jets. It is about pure American ingenuity and engineering. We can turn a simple tanker into an invincible fortress. We can hide a massive base in plain sight. This transformation is a masterpiece of modern logistics. It allows the Navy to stay where they are needed. It gives us the freedom to act anywhere. We take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. This is how we maintain a global presence. This is how we stay ahead of the enemy. In the dangerous game at the Strait of Hormuz, the winner is not always the biggest ship. It is the one who can be everywhere. It is the one who remains undetected until they strike. The Puller is the ultimate expression of this power. It is a silent guardian of the world's oil. It is a symbol of absolute dominance in the shadows. Project Freedom is working exactly as intended. The US remains the master of these dangerous waterways. We adapt, we innovate, we win. The Strait of Hormuz is just the beginning. Other regions are becoming just as tense right now. Next, which weapon do you want us to decode? What is secretly controlling the South China Sea? Stay tuned to find out.